The Bonn Climate Conference continued on Tuesday. Contact groups and informal consultations took place under the SBSTA. An informal ADP meeting also convened. Delegates waited anxiously throughout the morning for the beginning of the SBI plenary. The SBI plenary convened shortly before lunch, with SBI chair reminding parties that
I would like to remind you that today, Tuesday the 11th of June, the agenda for the 38th session of the SBI is still yet to be adopted. As a consequence, the SBI has been unable to commence any work and has now lost 8 days of its scheduled working time.
it was quickly clear that the chair's proposed compromise could not serve as the basis for consensus. The plenary ended without adoption of the agenda, and the SBI will only reconvene on Friday to close the session. During lunch, a special event presented the newly launched International Energy Agency, the IEA, World Energy Outlook Special Report Redrawing the Energy Climate Map. IEA Chief Economist Fatih Birol described the report.
Yesterday in London, we released this special report of World Energy Outlook on energy and climate change. The very message of the book is that the energy sector, which is responsible about 2/3 of the emissions, can do a lot in order to keep the 2 degrees target alive. And we have suggested 4 pragmatic policy measures, such as improving energy efficiency, reducing methane emissions, reducing the number of inefficient coal plants worldwide, and reduction of the fossil fuel subsidies. And those 4 policies, which do not harm the economic growth, can stop the emissions growth around 2020 and keep the 2 degrees target alive.
A participant from the African Development Bank reflected on energy and adaptation.
Energy is very critical to adaptation, and any threat to energy will undermine all adaptation efforts in different sectors, including health, water, agriculture.
Birol highlighted the potential impacts of climate change on the energy sector.
It will be in terms of its impact on the infrastructure of the energy sector, such as the offshore oil and gas rigs, such as the electricity grids. Energy sector is not immune to the changes in the climate change and its impacts, and as such, beyond having some moral reasons, energy sector has business reasons to address the climate change.
Tuesday concluded with many contemplating the implications of the fact that the SBI will not be able to launch substantive work here in Bonn.